Okay, so I've done my best to put 4 reviews out this long weekend. It started off with VFW, then Eat Brains Love, then After Midnight, and now Camp Cold Brook. And all I can say is 3 out of 4 ain't bad. Hey guys, welcome to Happywax TV. I'm going to keep this review really short. I sat down and watched Camp Cold Brook over this long weekend, and I had a feeling going into it wasn't going to be that good, and unfortunately I was correct. Very quickly, it directed by Andy Palmer, written by Alex Carl, and then it stars Chad Michael Murray as Jack, Daniel Harris, who is a fairly big name in the horror industry, as Angela, Candice, Visser as Emma, and that's pretty much it. So there's other people in this movie, but I'm not going to get into them. Those are the main stars. So basically what this movie revolves around is an online paranormal team, you know, like a television show. And I guess the ratings are struggling. I mean, there's no new story here. I mean, this story has been done 1,000 times. But so their TV show is struggling. It's going to get canceled. So Jack begs the producer to give him one more chance. You know what I mean? To give him, like, you know. So he says, "Okay, fine. You get one more chance. Give me an awesome show. Do you know what I mean? And I'll sign you on for one more season." So, okay, so that's what they have to do. So they sit down and they try and pick some place that's like off the charts, insanely haunted. You know, they talk about the Winchester house, and they actually make a funny joke about how that's already been done with the Helen Mirren movie that came out a couple years ago, which was kind of when this movie was filmed, because it's from 2018, but it's just getting released now. Anyway, so they decide not to go with that house. Instead, they bring up this Camp Cold Brook, where there was a church group that hit a little girl's, or a camp counselor's little girl on the with their bus on the way to the camp. Okay, and then the mother ended up poisoning all the camp counselors and the church group and stuff, and made them all drown themselves. Okay, so that's the legend. So anyways, they pack up and they go to this camp. Okay, and that's the end of Act 1. All right, and there are twists and turns in this movie, like in the third act, but I mean it's nothing that you can't see coming from a mile away. In fact, I even guessed the ending. You know what I mean? And I don't want to give spoilers and ruin it if you do sit down and decide to watch this. You know what I mean? Like they do try their best. But, you know, the thing that irks me the most, and again, this was produced, one of the executive producers was Joe Dante. Okay, so I kind of had maybe some high hopes, but I mean, it really means nothing at the end of the day, because this movie is not very good. Again, the story has been told 1,000 times. The scenario has been told 1,000 times. Like, I'm getting sick and tired of this, you know, paranormal group has to go to this haunted house to keep their TV show bullshit. Like, it's over and done with, man. Like, it's almost as bad as the Blair Witch, and how, like, not the original Blair Witch, but the Blair Witch style movies, of how they just copy and paste, you know what I mean, and hope people watch their flick, because that's all this is. It's just a copy and paste of a paranormal group going into some haunted asylum or some haunted hospital or a forest or a fucking camp. You know, and it's stupid. It really is, because these guys are supposed to be paranormal investigators, okay? That's fine. And as soon as they actually see fucking ghosts, okay, which they freak out and they want to leave. And I'm thinking to myself, this is what you fucking idiots do for a living. Like, who... What? Why now? Daniel Harris is livid because she's to the point of being pissed off because she saw a fucking ghost in the playground, 2 little kids. Well, you're a fucking ghost hunter. You're supposed to see that shit. Like, what? Like, when you were writing this, like, you know what I mean? Like, what the fuck were you thinking? Like, I hate this, and it's not just this movie. It's in all these movies, you know what I mean? Like, they're supposed to be ghost hunters or demon hunters or whatever. and then they actually see a ghost, and then they want to fucking leave. They freak out and want to leave. I'm like, I don't know. You know what? I'm just getting sick and tired of it. And this movie, God honestly, did nothing for me. And like I said too, the ending, you can see, like if you don't figure the ending out by halfway through the second act, then I mean, you're probably not paying attention to the movie, which I can't blame you for not doing. It's too bad. I mean, the trailer, unfortunately, the trailer doesn't make this movie look very good. You know what I mean? There's just some movies you can't edit to make them look good. I mean, Cupid was one of them. You know what I mean? That movie. And there's a bunch of other ones too. And, you know, I get it. It's low budget. Maybe a bigger budget maybe would have helped. But at the end of the day, this is just a terrible fucking story. You know what I mean? I mean, the direction is okay. I mean, the acting is actually pretty good. But it all falls back on just a lame, shitty story that's been told 1,000 times before. So I honestly don't know why producers pump their money into this stuff. Like, it's just the same old malarkey that nobody wants to fucking watch anymore. So, I don't know. It's too bad, really, because like I said, I mean, the direction is okay. The acting is pretty good. But the story itself is just, it's fucking terrible. So, anyways, Camp Cold Brook, it's out now. Give it a watch. Always give it a watch, whether I give good reviews or bad reviews. You know, these guys did put effort into it. I mean, it's just, they were given a fucking comic book strip of a fucking something to work with, man. It was terrible. So, anyways, give it a watch. Let me know what you think about it. If you've seen it, let me know. You know what I mean? If you thought the same way I do. And honestly, guys, we need to stop. Like, you guys, you need to stop making this kind of movie. It's been done 1,000 times. Like, for God's sakes. Like, there's so many good fucking stories out there. Like, there's no need. And Joe Dante, what are you thinking? Like, honestly, you're a legend. What are you doing putting your money behind this? Like, surely you must have seen this when you read the script, that it was the same as 1,000 other fucking stories that are out there now that people aren't watching. Like, Jesus Christ. So, anyways, let me know what you think of it. Camp Cold Brook, guys. And until next time, stay scared. Unless you watch this, then it'll be just stay bored.